You never miss a deadline. You never cancel plans. You show up, even when you're running on empty. And somewhere deep inside, you're exhausted in a way that sleep doesn't fix. People call you dependable, the strong one, the one they can count on. And you smile, because that's what you do. But behind that reliability is a person who learned that love had conditions, that safety had a price, and the price was never stopping. This isn't a personality trait. This is a survival response. Psychologists call it hyper-responsibility, and it doesn't come from strength. It comes from a childhood where being needed was the only way to feel safe. Maybe you were the eldest, the one who managed the house, while the adults fell apart. Maybe you were the child who sensed tension before it arrived and fixed it before it exploded. Maybe you were the kid who realized, if I don't hold this together, no one will. That child made a decision, not with words, with every cell in their body. I will be useful. I will never be a burden. And it worked. People relied on you, called you the strong one, and that felt like love. Because for a long time, it was the closest thing to love. You knew how to receive. But being needed is not the same as being loved. Being relied on is not the same as being seen. And now you're an adult. You say yes when you mean no. You carry other people's weight, as if it belongs to you. You feel genuinely guilty for resting, for having a need of your own. There's a word for what happened to many of you in childhood: parentification. When a child becomes the emotional caretaker for the adults around them. You managed moods. You kept the peace. You became small, so others could feel stable. And nobody told you that was never your job. The cruelest part of hyper-responsibility, it makes you invisible, in plain sight, because reliable people are taken for granted almost immediately. The moment you become dependable, people stop asking if you're okay. They assume you are, and you let them believe it. Because showing your struggle still feels like becoming a burden. And burdens that child learned don't get loved. When hyper-responsible people finally reach the edge, they don't collapse dramatically. They go quiet. They withdraw slowly, answer messages a little later, smile a little less, until one day someone asks if you're okay, and you realize you don't know how to answer. So what changes this? Not saying no more often, not a boundary script. You start by asking, am I helping because I want to, or because I'm afraid of what happens if I don't? That question changes everything, because you are not responsible for everyone's comfort. You are not the emergency contact for the entire world. You are allowed, fully, completely allowed, to be someone who also needs. The most reliable people don't need to care less. They need to learn how to include themselves in the circle of people they care for. You were never too strong to need help. You were just never shown that you were allowed to ask. You held everyone else together. It's time someone held you too, and that someone can start being you.